Hello people, I know I haven't done a video in a hot minute, and I do apologize for that, but today I decided to make a video that's been very long overdue, almost over 2 years in fact. Today we're going to be looking at quite possibly the most iconic band of all time, and your dad's favorite band, Queen. What can I possibly mention about Queen that hasn't been said already for the past decade? They are an amazing band that has come out with one of the most iconic songs that has ever haunted our ears, like Bohemian Rhapsody, Don't Stop Me Now, another one by Stardust, We Will Rock You, and We Are the Champions. I can go on and on. You had Freddie, an amazing frontman with a beautiful singing voice, Brian with his iconic and unique sounding Red Special, Roger Taylor on drums, and the band's secret trump card, John Deacon. I recently decided to listen to every album from the group, and in this video, I'm going to be ranking each of them from worst to best. Why did I do this? Well, I'm sick of trying to find interesting rankings and review of Queen, and the majority I find are from middle-aged men or young elderlies. It's time for a Gen Z kid like me to give his take on the band. So grown men, get ready to hit that dislike button, cause my ranking might piss you off. I'll only be looking at core albums, no side shit, soundtracks, or live albums. Now, let's begin. Ooh, starting off controversial now, aren't we? Yes, in my opinion, Jazz is undoubtedly their worst album. Yes, I know Fat Bottom Girls is on there. Yes, I know Bicycle Race is on there. And yes, I know damn well Don't Stop Me Now is on there. But put them aside, and you got a bunch of songs that barely have any substance or replay value. They don't have a clear identity. I dare you to talk about In Only 7 Days. Don't know that one? Exactly, because that's what happened with this album. It's forgettable. And that's the worst thing you can be as an album. The most notoriety it gets is that one album with Don't Stop Me Now. For these reasons, it's at the bottom of the barrel. A definite last resort album. Favorite tracks are Mustafa, Fat Bottom Girls, and Don't Stop Me Now. 4 out of 10. I actually think Hot Space is better than Jazz. While Hot Space is without a doubt the band's most controversial album, shifting away from their classic rock sound for a more disco sound, that's what makes it memorable. And hell, whether you accept it or not, some of the songs go crazy, like Staying Power and Backchat. They succeed in making me move. I think what went wrong is not just the sound, but the lack of any clever lyricism or memorable chords, save for Under Pressure. Some of the songs don't even feel complete, like Body Language for example. That song's uncomfortable as fuck to listen to. Overall, is Hot Space overhated at times? Yes. Is it the best album? No. Favorite tracks are Staying Power and Backchat. 5 out of 10. I don't want to sleep with you. I gotta be careful the way I talk about this album, considering the circumstances that haunted the album. We already know the obvious, how Freddie tragically passed away, so in 1995, the remaining members of the group gathered not only recorded tracks made for the album that was never finished, but also solo works from Freddie and reworked them to fit the Queen sound. The result is an album that's undoubtedly their most bittersweet. You can't help but feel a bit melancholic while listening to the album, especially on tracks like Mother Love, the last song that Freddie ever recorded. Unfortunately, the album doesn't have that much replay value. Because there was very little to work with, the album comes off more as a compilation rather than an album. Some tracks feel even out of place, like You Don't Fool Me, the 4-second Yeah track, and the 22-minute Untitled track, which we have yet to get a proper explanation on why that exists. The community did settle on the theory that the track represents the history of the band and the departure of Freddie, which in that scenario, it makes it a much more emotional listen. Overall, a pretty decent closure to the band, but most certainly an album I wouldn't write home about. Favorite tracks are It's a Beautiful Day, Mid in Heaven, I Was Born to Love You, and Mother Love. 6 out of 10. At this point, every album from here on out, I undoubtedly like them, and go back to consistently. It's just about which ones I like more. Anywho, what kind of magic? This is a tragic album, not in the sense that it's sad, but more so, it's wasted potential. Like Jazz, the singles were absolutely amazing. One Vision is one of their finest anthems, the title track is one of their catchiest songs, and Who Wants to Live Forever is beautiful as all hell. Unfortunately, the rest of the album is bumpy. It's not as atrocious as Jazz, which is why it's higher on the list, but the fact is still there. It's easier to listen to one song on here rather than listen to the entire album. Side note. This album is quite notable, as this album was almost around the time when Freddie was diagnosed, so this is the last album to have a relatively healthy sounding Freddie. The Magic Tour is also notable for this album. but not just because it was the last one they ever did, but because it's perhaps their most iconic tour. The live performances have never looked and sounded better. All this adds up to why I think Another Kind of Magic is wasted potential. Favorite tracks are One Vision, Kind of Magic, Friends Will Be Friends, and Who Wants to Live Forever. 6.5 out of 10.
Open up your mind and let me step inside.
I know this is criminally low, considering this is their best-selling album to date, and has some of their most iconic songs, period. But does it equal to an amazing album? No. There are some bangers. Play the Game is an incredible opener. Dragon Attack goes insane. Another One Bites the Dust is fucking Another One Bites the Dust. Crazy Little Thing Called Love is one hell of a rock and roll song. But in the case of Deja Vu, the rest of the album is a bit eh. However, there are more highs than there's lows. Some of the decuts are actually memorable. Rocket is an outstanding and extremely underrated track, and Save Me is a shower song all the way through. But believe me, when there are lows, there are lows. Like, who the hell thought Don't Try Suicide was a good addition to the album? In my opinion, that's probably Queen's most strangest song ever. Overall, this is a certified good album from Queen, but not their best in my opinion. If anything, it's a bit overrated, but still enjoyable listen. Favorite tracks are Play the Game, Another One Bites the Dust, Rocket, Crazy Little Thing Called Love, and Save Me. 7 out of 10. Why do I think The Works is better than The Game? Well, in my opinion, the writing's on the wall the moment you press play. This album hits different. Radio Gaga is an absolutely fantastic and iconic track. Very catchy at that. It's a Hard Life is so criminally underrated. It was actually one of my all-time favorites from the group initially when I first started listening to the band. I Want to Break Free is one of their catchiest songs ever. The moment you listen to it, you have to sing it. Keep Passing the Open Windows is a fun and underrated song, and it's quite the pick-me-up track. Hammer to Fall goes hard, especially in the Live 8 performances, as basic as that sound. And of course, Is This the World We Created is a beautiful closure to a great album. I feel that The Works has more staying power than The Game when it comes to replay value front to back. Enough said. Favorite tracks are Radio Gaga, It's a Hard Life, I Want to Break Free, Keep Passing the Open Windows, Hammer to Fall, and Is This the World We Created? 7.5 out of 10.
You suck my blood like a leech. You break the law and you breach.
Yup, it's not up there. Yes, I understand that this has one of the most acclaimed songs ever conceived, but do me a favor and toss that aside. Pretend it doesn't exist. Now what do you think of the album? In my opinion, this is a great album, with so many memorable and unique tracks. This was the moment that Queen fully blossomed, and you can hear it. Death on Two Legs is an amazing opener that goes hard with Freddie's aggressive vocals. Lazing on a Sunday Afternoon may be short and a bit goofy, but I love it. You're My Best Friend is such a cute and lovable track that has a killer chorus. The Prophet's song is so damn fascinating every time I listen to it. The delays, the lyrics, it's all so interesting. Love of My Life is such an emotional listen that can sometimes be hard to listen to without shedding a tear. This album is overall great. Some deep cuts do leave a bit more to be desired. A song like I'm in Love with My Car makes you wonder how the hell it made it on the album. Maybe the band was right.
When my hand's on your grease gun, that's very subtle,
It's a metaphor, Brian.
It's just a bit weird, Roger. What exactly are you doing with that car?
because you know your song isn't strong enough.
No, wow. Is that strong enough? What about that? Oh, not the coffee machine!
Overall, an incredible album that has every right to still be praised all these decades later. Favorite tracks are Death on Two Legs, Lazing on a Sunday Afternoon, Love of My Life, and Bohemian Rhapsody. 7.5 out of 10. But what's better than A Night at the Opera? Well, not other than...
I can dim the lights and sing you songs full of sad things.
It's funny. At times I feel like this album feels more operatic than the album that's really named after the genre. A Day at the Races feels so free. It's such a fun album. It feels like an album that's doing as it pleases. Tie Your Mother Down is such a fun opener that's especially awesome to hear live. You Take My Breath Away is such an ethereal listen, and dare I say, one of their most beautiful songs ever. The Millionaire Waltz is such an enjoyable earworm. Somebody to Love is, in my opinion, their peak when it comes to capturing the opera/choir sound. And Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy is a fucking masterpiece. Not just amazing, a masterpiece. Every slice you make through that song, you see so much beauty and fun and care put into that song. From the vocals, the fun chorus, the sound, it's honestly one of my all-time favorite Queen songs ever. Overall, I think this is the better album because it exceeds more at being a theatrical and operatic album. Favorite tracks are You Take My Breath Away, The Millionaire Waltz, Somebody to Love, and Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy. 8 out of 10.
Well, you're just 17, all you wanna do is disappear.
This is your dad's favorite Queen album. The News of the World is one of Queen's most damning albums. In my opinion, this is the album that cemented them in music history. We Were Rocky and We Are the Champions being together and having the same idea while having their own incredible sound and identity is such a genius tactic from Freddie and Brian. They became the anthem for all things sports. Sheer Heart Attack is fucking crack. All Dead is such an underrated emotional song. The same can be said for Spread Your Wings. Get Down Make Love is a great deep cut. You literally can't go wrong with this album. It's one of their tightest and most consistent albums. Favorite tracks are Sheer Heart Attack, All Dead, and Spread Your Wings. 8 out of 10. This is the start, in my opinion. The birth of true Queen. In my opinion, this album has their second greatest opening track ever as a band, Brighton Rock. Brighton Rock is a blueprint for how openings should be for a rock album. It showcases fun lyricism, an ear-catching riff, one of the greatest guitar solos I've ever heard. It's catchy as fuck, and it's a masterpiece. And to keep it going, we have Killer Queen, another masterpiece. What can I say about it that hasn't been already said? I already love how tight, straightforward, and the rest of the album is. Each song is placed cleverly next to each other in a fun way that's so smooth. Now I'm Here is an awesome song. Bring Back That Leroy Brown is such a fun song to listen to. Stone Cold Crazy is a metal masterpiece. It all just adds up to a certified classic. Oh yeah, and Tenement Funster is one of my all-time favorite Roger Taylor songs. Favorite tracks are Brighton Rock, Killer Queen, Tenement Funster, In the Lap of the Gods, Bring Back That Leroy Brown, and Stone Cold Crazy. 8.5 out of 10. Didn't expect this one that up high, didn't you? The debut. This is an insanely underrated album. When looking at the group, you can't help but notice their earlier works is incredibly overshadowed by the hits. So let me be the one to say, please, look for them. Give them a listen. You will not be disappointed. Queen is how you start a band. The opener is like the opening track to one of the greatest band stories ever told, as pretentious as that sounds. On a for real, Keep Yourself Alive is such a catchy and fun masterpiece. The drum break is absolutely insane. Doing Alright is another one that I consider to be one of my all-time favorite Queen songs. It's another certified masterpiece. Great King Rat goes absolutely batshit insane. The beat, the chorus, the delivery, everything. It makes me swoon. I find myself dancing to it every time without fail. Another masterpiece. A back-to-back situation. Liar has always stuck to me because of that riff. It's so iconic to me for some reason. Though I do feel like the song overstays its welcome with it clocking in at 6 minutes. Mind you, they weren't doing the clever section changes at this time, so it really did drag. The Night Comes Down is one of their most underrated songs. It's so utterly beautiful, and Freddie sounds so gorgeous and airy. A certified masterpiece. Son and Daughter goes so hard, especially the It captures your attention immediately and never loses it. A certain masterpiece. I can go on about this album forever. This is an incredible debut album and extremely underrated. Favorite tracks are Keep Yourself Alive, Doing Alright, Great King Rat, Matt the Swine, Liar, The Night Comes Down, and Son and Daughter. 9 out of 10. I find it kind of fascinating how one can be at their weakest point, but show their greatest effort yet. Innuendo is obviously the last album Freddie got to see released. But right from the start, you can tell this is not just another Queen album. This almost felt like a late reinvention of them as a band. Not only do they return to their older hard rock sound, but they give the modern Queen twist to them, making them even more memorable. The title track is without a doubt the best opener for a Queen album ever. It's a masterpiece. A beautiful and fascinating work of art, while being extremely catchy at the same time. You can't help but try to belt the last few lyrics. I'm Going Slightly Mad is a certified masterpiece. The lyrics may mean almost absolutely nothing, but that's the beauty of it. The music video is my all-time favorite from them. It's ridiculous, fun, and so Queen. The beat goes hard as well. Headlong is on a similar boat. The lyrics are ridiculous, but the execution is stellar. The hoop diddy diddy hoop diddy doo part is one of the greatest words ever spoken by humankind. I Can't Live Without You is a great deep cut with a pretty catchy chorus. These Are the Days of Our Lives is a certified masterpiece. It's one of the most telling songs ever. If Keep Yourself Alive was the opener to the story of the band, this, in my opinion, has to be the closure. The tears I shed listening to the song are damning proof to the song's power. Delilah is such a memorable track on the album, even if it's a bit awkward on the track list. I love how personal the song is. Bijou is a certified masterpiece. Brian's guitar on the song has never sounded more beautiful. You just don't want it to end when you listen to the song. It's such a soul-healing listen every time. The Show Must Go On is a certified masterpiece, and it's one of the band's most powerful songs ever. My description can never do it justice. You'd have to listen to it for yourself. It's filled with absolute determination to keep moving no matter what the situation is. I can imagine how it's like listening to this at the gym. Freddie's voice, not only on this song, but on the entire album, in my opinion, is his absolute peak as a singer, which is shocking considering he was at his absolute weakest. How did he do that? His voice is the most powerful on this album, no doubt about it. Overall, this is how you end the story of one of the greatest lead singers of all time. Favorite tracks are Innuendo, I'm Going Slightly Mad, Headlong, These Are the Days of Our Lives, Delilah, Bijou, and The Show Must Go On. 9 out of 10. Okay, this is probably the most controversial placement. I can already hear the familiar typing of the community crying while commenting their hate comments. Why the hell is The Miracle my second favorite Queen album ever, out of every album from them? Why is it so damn high up? Well, let me be possibly the first and only Queen fan to say that this is without a doubt their tightest, consistent, and catchiest album ever. There are almost zero skips on this album. The moment you press play, you already get hit with a banger, Party. And I love how Khashoggi's ship complements the track. But then after those two, you get hit with back-to-back masterpieces. The Miracle, masterpiece. I Want It All, masterpiece. The Invisible Man, masterpiece. Breakthrough, masterpiece. Then you got that one song, Rain Must Fall. Anyways, Scandal, masterpiece. And then that one My Baby Does Me song. Was it all worth it? Fucking masterpiece. If you took those two strange songs aside, this would be a perfect Queen album in my opinion. Each song is absolutely incredible in their own way, and each of the songs can stand on its own. To put it simply, say you're at a China buffet. There's so much food, but it's all a matter of where do I start? What do I want first? That's the fucking Miracle album for y'all. Favorite tracks are Party, The Miracle, I Want It All, The Invisible Man, Breakthrough, Scandal, and Was It All Worth It? 9.5 out of 10, and on some days, a 10 out of 10. I'm gonna be denounced by the Queen community now. Might as well go all out if I'm gonna be crucified. Right, no more safety straps. My number one favorite Queen album, period. The album that I find to be a masterpiece in of itself. The album that I can always go back to. Without a doubt. It's this should make the community happy? Yes. Out of every single album from them, this is the one that rises to the occasion. This is the one at the top. The album itself is a masterpiece. No skips at all. While The Miracle was almost perfect, Queen 2 is that perfect Queen album. It's the China buffet if it became a 5-star luxurious buffet that Gordon Ramsay approved of. I love the concept of the album, each side telling opposing stories with the White Queen and the Black Queen. Each song is extremely catchy in its own way, but some standouts for me are Father to Son, White Queen, Someday One Day, and Loser in the End. But then you have the others, which I nicknamed the Hexad Attack, a back-to-back incredible work of art consisting of 6 songs. Ogre Battle, The Fairy Fellows Master Stroke, Nevermore, Funny How Love Is, and 7 Seas of Rye. I have left one out on purpose though. I want to dedicate an entire section to it. Words cannot express how speechless I was when I first heard this years ago. I couldn't fathom it. Such a complex, layered, and chaotically beautiful piece of music from 1974. It gets harder and harder to comprehend it the more you listen to it. How did they pull this off? Each time you listen to the song, you find more and more details you didn't notice the previous listen. By all means, in my opinion, This is the perfect Queen song. Everything about it, it's so them. Even the length isn't a concern. Even if it's 6 minutes, it still feels short because of how immersed you get in its beauty. And the last section, oh my god! I've never heard such an intense and amazing section from a song a day in my life. This song, in every way, is a perfect masterpiece. Concluding, this, in my opinion, is the greatest Queen album ever. Favorite tracks are all 10 out of 10. With that out of the way, we are done. I'm gonna go and catch some Z's now since this took a minute for me to do. As for the Queen Defense Force, my bad. But with that, thank y'all for watching, comment, subscribe. But until then, this is all you get. See ya.